Hi guys, today I'm here and I'm back with part 2, how to painting your baby with acrylics. The last video was flesh and you saw me making my color for creases, and I actually already did creases on this little hand and arm, you can tell a little bit. Usually you do 3 or 4 layers of creasing, and I did it on her torso as well, but in this video I'm going to be showing you how to do it on her leg, maybe arm, and head. So, put you guys right here, and let's get started. So you're going to want a very, very tiny brush. So this one I actually modified, so you can see how small it is compared to my finger. And you're going to want your paint, which I showed you how to do the color earlier. So we're going to start with the foot, and what you're going to do is you're just going to basically take your paint with the brush through every little crease. Like so. You can see what I'm doing. Like that. And you just want to get rid of kind of like where it might leave like a little mark. Like that. So you can see. And then we're going to do back of her heel. I haven't done every line as you can see, but I will make sure I go back and do every single line or crease. You want to go through it with paint. And you just want a tiny little bit of paint. You can't even see the paint on the brush. But you know it's there because you'll see it. And you put the brush on the crease. Now the bottom of the foot, so you can see the creases on her little footsie. And so you can see a little bit of pink, and it might dry a little lighter to where you can't really see it as much. But yeah, you can tell though that you did do it, and you're gonna want to do the toes too. And if you got like kind of a little clumpy where you don't want it to dry like that, you just want to kind of dab it. So I think you get the point for the foot, and also that's the same for just regular big creases on arms, legs, bellies, everything. It's all the same. You don't really want to wipe it out of the crease unless you're not happy with the way it did, then you can. And if it has too much like that, just take your sponge, take a dry sponge, and kind of just dab it like that and redo it again. Like that. And I also do veins. I just do those after creasing. I don't like veins. I mean, I like doing them. I always mess up when I do veins. See, that's what it will look like if you let the paint dry in a little bubble. I mean, it's not really noticeable at all once you paint over it, like once you get painting over it, like with the mottling and everything. But I mean, it is frustrating. I'm just gonna finish this foot off. And you also wanna kind of outline the toenails. Just like that little bottom part. Even on the little bitty toe. No, it's a little bit too much paint. You want to do the creases on the toes because babies have a lot of creases. Okay, so you can actually tell that there has been creasing added to this limb. And I'm gonna make these a little darker. Also, if you wanna do your creases on limbs and you are not happy with the way they're doing, you can get a mop brush, like a really small one. Like when it's like big creases, you can kind of do it like that, and then kind of brush it, dab it off a little bit, and you can see makes a nice crease. This is also a really good brush for toes when you want to get those toes nice and painted, because you don't want your baby to have white toes, do you? And also I will use this color for the heel, because you want the heel to be pink and very much more pink than the rest. Usually also I will do one layer with this, but usually I will use mottling color, which is a little bit more red. And also the knee works really well if you use this technique, because you want the knees to be extra pink. I used the wrong. You can't really tell much, but you can tell that paint was added. So, you can definitely tell with the little pink toes, they're a lot more pink than they were. Also, this works really well for fingers too. So that is the first layer of creases. So I've done 3 layers, so 3 layers so far. Okay, now we're gonna get on to her face. So, we're gonna do creases under her eye creases. And if you did put the eyes in first, you want to be very careful. Also, this brush works really well to get right there. Also, it works very well to get paint up in her nose, in her nostrils. So, to help pinken up her nostrils. And just so you guys know, as a disclaimer, I am not a professional. I'd say I'm like intermediate, because I don't think I'm beginner. I don't know. you can tell me what you guys think. I know I'm not a professional at all, but I kind of do consider myself like intermediate because it's a little bit more than a beginner level, I'd say. I don't really know. If there are comments, you can tell me. So, yeah. Just gonna do creases on her lips. So you can see it makes a difference. Little creases, you're gonna wanna, actually, why did I just do that? Actually, this brush also works really well for the inside of mouth and lips, because I'm gonna go ahead. You wanna leave this part a little lighter because that part on a real human being is lighter. So, just gonna dab it a little bit. And then I'm just gonna go back over some more creases on her lips. And I'm also going to set a magnet in her because I've got magnets and I'm gonna do it, so. Yeah, I haven't done it with any of my other babies. I haven't been brave enough. I was gonna do it last night, but then I actually forgot and we were going to bed when I remembered. Like, darn. So, there's that. And also, this is a very good color for ears, because it's a little bit darker than a regular. It's got a little bit more of a purple tint, even though I didn't add purple. I mean, some people do add purple, but I don't. Do the ears with that. And this ear. Okay. It looks like I did creases on her neck, but I don't think I did. Unless I did and just wasn't paying attention. Because they kind of look like I did. No, I didn't. Okay. So, doing creases, her neck. Okay, so you can kind of tell that I've done some creases on her face. I'm actually gonna go ahead and get a mottling color ready because I like to use that color for blushing. So I'm gonna get that because we're also gonna do some blushing right now. So I use Holiday Red, just Holiday Red and water. Okay. Also, this is a really good brush for that little thing on her head. Little indentation. I forgot what it's called. I didn't look it up because I didn't remember to look it up. We're gonna do her little chin. we're making progress, so it's not a lot of progress, but it is some progress. Adding a little bit more paint because I need it to be a little thicker because it's not really going on and you can't really tell. Okay. I'm gonna get a textured sponge for this. We're gonna use this textured sponge if I need it, because we're not gonna use the sponge for that part. Maybe just a little bit right there. And we're gonna do some cheek blushing. You can't even see what I'm doing. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm having trouble with this. Wait, wrong color. This is how I do my blushing on her cheeks and on really anyway. I just like the effect it gives because it kind of doesn't look so solid. So you can actually tell, starting to tell that what I'm doing now. Nose, a bit long sponge. And we're gonna start adding a little bit of color to her lips. And to her chin. Okay, and we're gonna do some shadowing right here. And above the eyebrow bone right here. I don't know if you can kind of tell what I'm starting to do in her eyelids. You want to be very careful if you set the eyes first like I did. So you really don't want to use hardly any paint on my brush. I didn't add any extra paint, but you can see that a little bit of paint did go on there. Do that. A little bit more. I don't know what that's called, that little thing right there. I don't know what that's called. I might just not remember. I don't know. So you are actually, I can kind of tell where I'm doing some stuff now. Just gonna add like some dots for blushing. It's very subtle, but I can definitely tell I don't know if you can, but I can. Let me see if I want to give her one of those little stork bites. She doesn't look like a baby that would have a stork bite. It doesn't really suit her. Let me see if I want one like that. No, I don't want one. Okay, she's not gonna have a stork bite. Even though I really do like stork bites on Reborns, to me it just doesn't suit her. Okay, so I know that's not much progress, but reborning takes time, especially if you take your time and do it the right way. So I think I'm gonna cut it off here and work some more, and I will do you guys an update when we start the veining. So I'll see you guys next time at the next layer. Bye.